Hey, Car Guy V8 here, and it's been a little while since I've done a video on my F-150 because of a few difficulties, which I knew I would have whenever I bought it, because it's not the perfect truck, but it's the perfect muscle truck platform. So the first things I did on it was I changed the oil, put new coolant in it, and I think I mentioned that in one of the first videos of the truck. But since then, I fixed a coolant leak, two coolant leaks. One of my buddies had to help with the second one. But I'll show y'all in the engine bay so far what has been done and some stuff I've learned about the truck so far. But as it sits right now, it's running perfectly. It's driving good. It's really smooth driving, actually. Up on a lift, we tested, there's not really any wobble in the front wheels or anything like that. So it drives good, drives smooth, and got some new parts under there too that I wouldn't have known about without putting it on the lift. But let's open the engine bay and I'll show y'all some stuff about it. One other thing, the truck actually is mine now, so it's officially mine. Let's see, let me show y'all the engine. Sorry if there's a weird glare with the sun. But the first thing I noticed was right down here, you see the engine temperature sensor right there for the PCM? Well, right above that, there is a nozzle that was leaking coolant, and it wasn't just leaking, it was actually where, say it's an outlet like this, it actually was broken, the metal tip, so no matter what you did, it was going to leak. So I actually just bypassed the throttle body to fix that, which is that little cap, and it goes down to where it actually also broke the nozzle off right here. It was brittle right there, really brittle. And so that hose from the bottom of the throttle body went over to that other nozzle on the engine temperature sensor right above that. So I actually just bypassed that, and that fixed the first coolant leak, which I noticed there was still a little tiny bit of coolant leaking. But I was just gonna drive it some, so I drove it to work some, and I noticed it started acting really funny, the truck. Even funnier than before based on cool and warm weather, where the transmission wouldn't shift right. It was idling really high. I'm talking about 1600 RPMs. So the first thing I did was I shut off the truck. I turned the key on to the on position, hooked up my scanner to see the throttle position sensor, the throttle position percentage, rather. I couldn't think of what to say. But I looked at the percentage, and if I had the throttle gunned, it was only registering a little above 20%. So therefore, whenever I was driving, it would think that the throttle was at a different position, causing weird transmission issues, wouldn't drive well, I had no acceleration. So I changed that, which is right up under the throttle body. I actually had to take off the throttle body for that. And then the coolant leak, this is the one that kept me from driving it. This is really what it was. It was bad. It was actually, you see that little metal screw with the washer, if I can find my finger on the camera, right there? Well, that's actually an aftermarket freeze plug, a rubber freeze plug. And the previous owner replaced it like 6 years ago with a rubber one, but it wasn't put all the way in right, so eventually it started just leaking pretty bad, and I had to pull that out. I had my buddy up with his lift help me out with that. We actually were able to do it from the top without dropping the engine, or not dropping the engine, without raising the engine up or taking off any motor mounts or anything. It was quite hard to reach. In fact, he made a special tool for doing that, a cut off 1/2-inch wrench. And so that's fixed now. Took some time to get to it, but that's been the adventures of the muscle truck so far. I didn't get any of that on film, but I do have a couple of running videos I might show here in a second. But man, I'm really liking this truck so far. And oh, best news of all is I've got some money set aside in my local engine builder, the one who helped me with my Camaro, who sold me all the parts and refreshed the block. He's working on an engine for me soon. I'm thinking of going either 331 or 347 stroker. So this should be a pretty awesome truck here in about a year or two. I go pretty slow on processes like this. I don't take it fast. I just save my money slowly, put $80 here, $100 there, and eventually I've got a nice engine and an AOD transmission and stall and headers and all that stuff. So it should be pretty exciting. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thank y'all for watching.